Hello and welcome to the short Vort on the double parsha Tazria-Metzora. The first part of the Dvar Torah is something that can be used for a Bris Mila, a circumcision, or even a wedding, a Chuppa, Sheva brachos. It's based on something from Rabbi Farhi, which is something that comes from the Chasam Sofer. So when David HaMelech went into the bathhouse, he wasn't wearing any clothing. He contemplated that he was naked from mitzvahs. He wasn't wearing tzitzis. He didn't have any other mitzvah available to him. And then he realized he had one. That was the bris Mila. He was circumcised, and that was the mitzvah he had. Now, did he just realize this now? How many times has he gone to the bathhouse? So he was thinking not just to go to the bathhouse to clean himself physically from dirt, but also spiritually to go to a different level and improve himself. And that's when he realized that there's something unique about the bris Mila. Bris Mila is the only mitzvah that's done purely l'shem shemayim, purely because God said it. There's no potential benefit. Tzitzis, you can even get warm from that, but you can do something to earn olam haba you're doing the mitzvahs for, or you can get covered for it. Whatever benefits, so you do a mitzvah, you can still get another benefit. But there's no other reason to do bris Mila other than because of Shem Shemayim. And that's the point that the Chasam Sofer says, that all mitzvahs may be lishma except for the bris Mila. And that's why when HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the covenant with Avraham Avinu, it was done over the bris, because any other deal they would have made, there could have been some side motivation that Avraham had wanted. But when it came to making a covenant over bris Mila, there was no other reason to do this other than because he loved HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When we go to a bris Mila, we say, we bless the baby, Kashem shenichnas the bris, kain nikanes l'Torah l'Chuppa l'masim tovim. Just like this baby went into the covenant of Avram, so he should enter the Torah and Chuppa and Masim Tovim. Now, besides the obvious point that we want him to get married down the road, but what's the point of having Chuppa here? So the explanation here given is that bris Mila, as we said, is something that's done altruistically. It's the power of the bris to do things l'shem shemayim. The same altruism that you have to do when you're having the bris, when you get married, you're standing under the chuppah with your spouse, you should be saying, I am going to do things just because my beloved wants me to do it. Not because I'm going to get some side benefit, but totally altruistically. And that's why you mentioned here that the chuppah should be on the same type of mindset as what happens by the bris Mila. Now, I always like it when two parts of my learning collide, and the Daf Yomi just started the new Masechta Yuma discussing the Yom Kippur service, and it mentions in passing two psukim of Parshas Metzora, and that is V'shav HaKohen Uva HaKohen, that the Kohen is checking a house to see if it's a tsaras, if it has leprosy, and therefore he comes and he goes. And it's telling us a lesson here that normally we have a gezerah shava, where we have two different words, such as the word tziva, that this word is in two different sukkim. Then we can connect those two different sukkim and learn different lessons one from another. Now, normally the gezerah shava has to be the same exact word, but there is an exception, and that's what we learn from v'shav HaKohen uva HaKohen. It's shav and ba, not the same shav and shav or ba and ba. That in certain circumstances we can link these words when there's no other identical word that could have been used. So to develop the topic more deeply is about the houses that when Bnei Yisrael entered Eretz Yisrael, they were potentially going to have saras, and they found inside these houses that there was actually wealth, that there were things hidden there. Now, there's a Midrash Agada in the Parsha that says that the Canaanim hid money in their houses when the Jews were coming. But Rashi has a different language that I heard from an unidentified source, or rather that I can't recall, said that it was the Emorium, and they hid Matmonim. They hid valuables. And it was the Amorites. Why was it specifically the Amorites and not someone else that hid these valuables? The answer is because the Amorian, their name is speaking, is they said something wrong and they were being punished punished because of the things that they said. So, I don't know what it was. I don't have the sources for it, but I did hear it, I think, on Torah Anytime. And they said, we'll be going to be punished. We just like we got kicked out, the Jews will come in, but they're going to sin also, and they'll kick them out, and we'll come back hidden valuables. But of course, they were wrong. So let's learn a lesson from these two parshios, that when we do a mitzvah, we should doing it just like the mitzvah should always be altruistically, especially when it comes to your loved ones. So thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.